Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Mili reaction. Today we have 1000 by 1000. Not sure if it's 1000 times 1000. If that's the case, it would be a million. So I'm assuming that's probably the case, those clever little shits. Anyway, so this is this song. A lot of people have been asking for me to get to it, and I suppose that's what we're doing today. So without further ado, let's go! Oh, it's one of their, like, whimsical, childlike ones.
Memories, you keep me strong. Shudder the laminated sheets, sealing up our rosy cheeks.
Ah, yes.
You bring me along from sunset
Vacuum
to
sealed
dawn.
children.
Dreams melting to candy.
That's on brand.
Million stars.
A million, you say? Tulila, she says. Like, I mean.
No matter how far, nights will never be dark. Da-da-dee-da, da-dee-da-da-dee-da. You and I, we are one. We are one. We will always be. You and I, we are one. We are one. We will always be. You and I, we are one. We are one. We will always be.
I love that, like, just soft bass in there.
We are always.
That's such a good floor.
For you I'm dashing, for you I'm
Oh!
searching, for you I cry, for you I smile, for you I screaming, for you I dream, for you I got thousands of fractures, for you I do 1,000 times more.
That's what the title is for. Okay. Very heavily compressed drums for this one, too.
Yeah, I know this all sounds cliche, but you see it's true what they always say.
Yo, rapping?
Know how good you
Cassie
are.
rapping?
Do you lose the ones you love one day? I wanna try it through my eyes, through my arms, through my legs, through my heart, through my blood, through my brains. Through my anything just to see you again. You're my everything from the start to end. Darling, tell me why are we here far away from our motherland? Are we turned from believing in numbers? Maybe then they should have made us dumber. Genius is leading us to
Okay.
this moment. Kisses fundamental to human expansion. Take me to the bitter end. Take me to the bitter end.
This is...
You keep me strong. Shudder down.
I know I said earlier that it's one of their, like, lighthearted, whimsical ones.
You bring me along.
I would like to redact that statement partially. This is different.
You are my source of fears and no wars. Lying to myself, whatever doesn't hurt, even if torture will never be
Ooh.
worthy of answer.
Remember that swing in there?
For you, I'll do 1,000 times more.
Interesting choice.
For you I'm falling, for you I'm climbing, for you I'm bruised, for you I'm healed.
What is up with this one?
For you I'm flying, for you I go 1,000 times faster. For you I go 1,000 times faster. 1,000 times more. 1,000 times. For you I do 1,000 times more.
They keep doing it. New stuff. Yo. How long is that resonance gonna reach? Being left alone with the sound too. Oh, dude. I know this is like a meme at this point that they can't keep getting better and inviting in new sounds and new ideas, but they keep freaking doing it, dude. Seriously. Every single time I have to figure out a song that's written by Yamato Kasai, I have to take so long figuring out how this guy plays the piano, why he does what he does, and I'm always humbled and I always enjoy it. It's such a grueling process to try and break down any of this because I'm not a piano player and I'm pretty new to music theory still, so it's like, whoa, when there's like a god in front of you and you are but a man, you're like, Jesus Christ. You know, like, you just have a moment where you like really have to sit down, you know? Obviously, I'm going to be talking about the music theory for this one and some of the things I think that are really cool about it, but I just wanted to share that general thought as well because I felt it so many times while working out this song that I felt I just had to say something about it. So just to start off with the music theory stuff, I mean, this song is pretty straightforward in the grand scheme of like the bulk of what's being played here. It's in the key of C, so if you know anything from prior videos I've talked about the key of C, it's basically everything. All the white keys are right there and available. Obviously, Yamato Kasai does Kasai things and makes it so much more complicated than that, but just for the bulk of this song, it's like C, F, G, and E minor, as well as A minor. So that's kind of most of it. You know, like again, it gets more complex, but that's the real core of this song. If you just play those, you can hear the song in there. Just having that energy and the A minor kind of just being like this grounded energy for, and usually in a seventh, so it's a A minor with the tail of the top of C. So you're basically just adding an A to that. So it's, again, complexity there, but this is Yamato Kasai's whole thing, right? So the song just doing that, which is always nice because the simplicity of this makes it easy to talk about and have a lot more of these, like, especially sevenths, utilizing a lot of sevenths as Yamato Kasai always does, but it allows for this extra reach that you don't really get to think about too often, where you have the four notes within the chord, and a lot of the times, especially in whatever composition you're doing and whatever chord progression you're working with, tends to just be an extension of the prior or the chord you're going to. So like you have C, but then C with a seventh added to it is just E minor with a C. So there you go. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. These four notes are C and E minor at the same time. And then you have stuff like F, which is F, sure, but then you add that seventh to it. Now you have A minor, including with an F. So this is the relationship a lot of this song kind of ties itself around and why it kind of works no matter what you're doing here. There is, like I just did there is a D minor in here as well. Again, we get to the complexities of why, but it's just, this is the beauty of this song. The simplicity is exactly where it needs to be, because then Yamato Kasai comes in here blazing like, fuck that shit, bap! And then just makes it this jazzy, beautiful mess. And it's always so fucking amazing to hear what he does here. So like that, like boo-doo-boo-doo-doo-boo-doo-boo, just the arpeggiating that happens in there during that one transition. I'm sure you remember the part I'm talking about. If not, go re-listen to the song because clearly you didn't listen to it. But to start off here, we have this. It's just the A minor with the seventh, but you arpeggiate it, right? So we have that being the first one. Then it goes to an A flat diminished. And then of course, the seventh on there. And for this next one, we get kind of like a cheeky E minor seventh here. That's a weird one, right? Like just, that's not something you'd usually do because the main fingering for E minor is this, or down in the other octave, this. So we have those three notes, but not the first E minor there. They move that up the octave to be right next to that. It is just an alternate fingering, but it is a very strange one to have. And then we move from there to another weird diminished one. We get this G flat diminished, but it's a flat five with a seventh, which is just a weird chord and not something that would really ever work in most things except for how they use it here, and then moving down to an F seventh, of course, to finish out that whole phrase. And that's such a strange way to do that. There's other things going on at the same time, of course. There's another little like thing going on in the top end, but that's mostly what like the bass line of that arpeggio is doing to keep the piece and everything, like making the main a floor for the rest of what's happening to happen. And it's just, it's an insane choice. Why would you do that? You know, it's just, this is why Yamato Kasai broke me, because it took me forever to figure out exactly what was going on there on top of everything else. And I'm still not entirely positive about that E minor right there, that E minor 7th, that feels so wrong. Like, I'm not confident about that one. I'm confident about the rest of them, just not that one. It's such a weird choice, but it's definitely the weird that Yamato Kasai would make, so I want to believe it, because it's probably true. But that's pretty much the last weird thing that happens as far as like the music stuff goes, the music theory stuff at least. That's the only weird section in the song that's not just like a standard run-of-the-mill sort of progression that just adds onto it. Like I mentioned, we do have like the D and everything in there. There is like, I think, some weird, like maybe an F minor sort of happening in there as like part of the phrasing, just to be able to add a little bit more spice, and things are kind of like clashing up against each other. But I don't think that that's really necessarily like a core feature of the song. So this is why this song is so complex, and why Yamato Kasai always makes insane compositions, because he knows exactly how to bring a song through these sorts of odd choices. Who thinks to use a G flat diminished flat 5/7? What the hell is that? You know, like, such an odd choice, but this is the sort of thing that you just know when you're that good. But as far as the rest of the song goes, I love a lot of the choices with like having the horns in here was really nice, because it adds that fanfare and it adds a little bit more body and pride to the song, even though the message for the song was kind of like, I think it was a generic message in a way, where like the song is clearly talking about people who just love each other and want to be a part of each other's life, and like dedication in that like aspect and degree is just what this song is all about. And I think that's kind of an overview thing too. I also recognized the characters a little bit. I'm just not entirely sure from what, so maybe I've seen like a thumbnail of a different Mili video. Now that I know that they utilize the same characters sometimes for like continuing on a story that I've seen before, now I'm like, oh, this must be part of that maybe. I just don't know what songs. I don't think I've heard a song with these other characters on screen before, because I feel like I would remember them much better if I did. But either way, that's not really here nor there. It was just something I noticed, and my ADHD is going burr right now because this song took so long to figure out. It is such a wild ride, and like everything with it, what they were doing, like I mentioned, the like whimsical energy of this song, that's present, but also they keep doing new stuff, like having Cassie rap. Where the hell did that come from? I don't think I've ever heard a song where she raps before. That was different. Neat to know that she can actually rhyme sometimes. Okay, clowning on her, not serious. Don't come at me. Obviously she can rhyme, but I also know that through a lot of her lyricism, she just tends to not, you know, it's not really a thing she ever bothers with. At least doesn't like hold the song against itself if it doesn't rhyme. She's okay with not doing that. But that section specifically, all the rap stuff, was like per stanza rhymes. It was very just straightforward A-B rhyming, a very standard sort of approach compared to her usual lyricism, which tends to not fall to that sort of a design. That mold doesn't really hold Cassie back. So it's just kind of odd when you hear it, because you're like, oh shit, and then like she straight up code switched. Like you could hear a little bit more stank in her voice, a little bit more attitude. I didn't know Cassie was from the streets. Like, damn, she actually made some flow happen. And that's awesome. I love that. I love it when musicians constantly bring up something new that I haven't heard before. I talk about this with Mili all the time because they're doing it all the time. But that sort of an approach isn't something I ever expected out of them. I never thought it was like their thing to have that sort of a lyricism in it. So the fact that they are willing to opens up an entirely new door of potential for their music and where they could go. Again, they might have done that before with the whole rapping thing, but I've never heard it, so it's new to me, which is awesome. But I've also been yapping about this one a lot. There are other things I would like to talk about, but it took me so long to figure out some of the music stuff that I am not going to get into all of it, so I will end it here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from Mili, or anything like Project Moon, for example, throw it at me. Drop it in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!